This is TMI Thursday's edition, and of course, in this particular discussion segment, it's all about the defection of PDP members to the APC. You're talking about the members of the Edo State House of Assembly. Remember also, a day before that particular day, an acting chairman of a local government defected from the PDP to APC. The big question now is, what is really happening? What is really going on? And ultimately, what is the fate of PDP in Edo State? With me here in the studio to throw more light on this, I have a very vibrant youth, a political analyst, a politician. He was a one-time, aide, a special assistant, senior special assistant, advisor to Governor Gordon Obaseki on political matters, right?
Yes.
Shedrack Dubai. It's a pleasure to have you
Thank
here
you very
with me in the
much.
studio.
Good morning, Mr. Wisi. Good morning, good people of Nigeria.
And of course, we have a very vibrant APC member. You can call him in a chieftain in the APC because according to reports, he has paid his dues in the APC. He is a strong member of the APC campaign organization in course of this election that brought in Okpebolo, and of course a one-time SSA or SA rather to former Governor Adam Sadio Shomole, SSA Community Matters, right? And join me to welcome Collins Osagai. Collins, it's so good to have you here with me in the studio.
We'll say good morning. Viewers at home, good morning.
And joining us virtually, from Benin here. He is a businessman, a clergyman, a political analyst. Join me to welcome, I like to call him Reverend Henry Arimohai. Reverend, it's good to have you join us virtually. Appreciate you joining us.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody in the studio. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right. So, I really want to start off from what I attempt to be neutral perspective. Let's get to hear from the Reverend first. What he feels about this. Well, I'll come to the political juggernauts, the PDP and the APC, APC and the PDP. Reverend, what do you feel about this defection? Did you see it coming? And do you feel it's the right thing to do? Okay, fine. We're trying to make one or two adjustments for Reverend to really have this seamless interaction with us here in the studio. So, well, I'm going to pose a question to you, Shedrack. What do you feel about this trend?
Defection ordinarily simply translates to an abandonment of one's political belief, an abandonment of a political cause. And to a large extent, it is something so positive because it points out to the issues of inconsistency and the inability for one to stand strong for what it really believes. And mind you, there are two kinds of defection. There are defections before an election, and there are defections after an election. What is defection before an election? Issues of political ideology could be pointed at to say, this political party is relatively hostile. Ample opportunity has not been given for us to express our mandates, or perhaps we have seen what the party had done with the opportunities given to them in time past, and we feel that there is need for us to reposition ourselves. Such a defection can be linked to political ideology, to say this is what this party believes in, and this is what they are prepared in line for the people. This is the trajectory in the line of policy projects and the programs. But this other political party, I'll be able to meet the needs of my constituents better on this political platform. And also, we could also evaluate the issue of strength to say this party can no longer meet the needs. So those are the kind of defections you see before an election. But the one you see after an election is usually laced with greed. It's an attempt to go into the ruling party or the party of power to enjoy the benefits of those in government. It also points to ingratitude, especially for office holders who have been given ample opportunity to rise to the ranks of political office. And you see them jettison and renege on their loyalty to the party simply because of they want the crumbs that will come from maybe the state government or the president, or the national government. So for me, what we've seen in Edo State is the mass decamping. It's just the first of its kind, and we saw 3 members of the People's Democratic Party and 1 member of the Labour Party move into the APC. But for all it's worth, I wouldn't want to say it's anchored on ideology, because for what we've seen since the Monday Okpebolo got sworn into office, has been some high level of clueless governance. So there's really nothing to hope for. There's nobody who will say he likes what he's seeing in Edo, the insecurity, the maladministration, to say he wants to identify with Monday Ukwebulo or the APC, or is it the double-digit inflation, the insecurity, the economic slump that we've witnessed at the federal level? So there's really nothing to it when you speak of ideology.
All right.
What we're saying is outright financial inducement, 200 million be shared to lawmakers, many of them who have issues with resources, who cannot hold strong with their constituents. They've run because the APC is desperate for support to show to the presidency that yes, Edo is now in one-party state, and please do all the needful to ensure that we will retain our verdict. But all those, the campaign has no bearing on the judgment, and they have nothing to show, because the people who left, they are paperweight politicians. Say for one, the other theory of them is they have nothing to write home about.
All right, I will come back to you. Collins, this laptop of yours carries volumes. Well, all the same, you can give expression to the laughter. What do you feel about his comments?
I laughed because I appreciated my very good friend, the way he summarized it, especially when those who left are no longer your friends. But however, the campaign, for some of us who are not really used to the campaign often, we believe that sometimes it's good to hold on to ideology. In some cases, you may also try to hold on, but those you are working with at the party level sometimes may have reasons to push you out. Now, I don't really want to blame those who have defected, because in many occasions, even those who have dared to pay the price of commitment, sincerity, doggedity, and loyalty for their party really have nothing to show for it. 95%. Only 5% in some cases have been rewarded. So when people jump from party to party, it has become a norm. And the norm that it has become is that there is benefit attached to it. Those who have shown solidarity, most cases remain outside. So I welcome them to APC. We are very happy, because democracy is about number. You know, so for these honorable members who have come to join the party, we sincerely welcome them. Our prayer is that they become addition, not to come in and bring in minusing. Because we have seen defections sometimes that have become problematic. Some people defect, they come to your party, they end up destroying the party for you. So I hope and I believe that now that the food is ready and some handsome minds are coming, let us hold that bond to become more progressive, not to become retrogressive after spending 2 months in the party. Democracy is about the people. It is good we'll see people, but not people that will now come and create problem. Because many a time we used to celebrate when people are coming. We realize this when they come, the landlords become the tenant. Just like when the Obaseki team were moving to PDP. You know, the old PDP were celebrating. He could basic power. But when he came and his people, they drove all of them away. They didn't give them position in government. They didn't allow them to continue with the normal party structure and grace they had. They removed all of them and they became helpless. And the only way they could find survivor was to begin to look for an alignment in order not to be politically stranded. So that is why you saw that at the dying minute when we were coming for His Excellency's election, some of them begin to try and see how they can pay and decamped. While some felt, let me just remain, maybe things will get better. But it became worse from national for PDP. And now for those who are in office, they know that they need to put people together if they wish to recontest. And if they continue in the divided PDP, now we have three factions. The faction of the national chairman, the faction of His Excellency Baba Wike, then the faction that is loyal to Bala Mohammed and the Matiku. You can imagine how will they survive it. So they have more worry ahead of primaries.
All right. Now let's get straight down to Reverend Henry. Reverend Henry, what do you have to say about this?
Say good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, my co-discussant in the studio.
Good morning.
What is happening is not unexpected. It's unexpected. The reason being that the reason is not far-fetched. The reason being that most of our politicians have no apology, that they don't have political ideology. Because if you have political ideology, you would drive it to a logical conclusion. But many of them is a case of where they look for a place where they can feather their nest. And when they see the government in power, they feel that's a better option for them to feather their nest. So you see people want to gather around that political party. The last discourse I just mentioned something very vital, which is actually driving our politicians. He said something like, now that the food is ready, now that the food is ready. So that is just is a stomach infrastructure politicians that we have. And it's very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. So looking at, okay, now you see our politicians here, none of them, quite a number of them cannot survive outside of politics. They can't survive outside of politics. Because they live in, we ask them, what is your profession? They say, my profession is I am a politician. Politician is not your profession for God's sake. You should have something that you are doing that is earning a living for you. But here, because we feel the money is around for us to just, the money is available for us to grab when you belong to the government in power, then everybody tends to cluster around that political party. No wonder it is said that where the carcass is, that is where the ego gathers. And that is what is just playing out. Where the carcass is, that is where the egos are gathering. You are yet to see, in the days to come, in the months to come, you are going to see more defection. This is what we can call, like we say in football, this is a transfer season. For politicians, the transfer season is coming. When they begin to jump ship from one ship to the other, looking at where they can get their bread better buttered. I tell you, the politicians that are there, I don't think we have up to 5% that have the interest of the masses at heart. No, they don't have the masses, they don't have the masses at heart. All they are just interested in is for themselves, their immediate family. That's what they're interested in. That is why you see, if the party they are in seem to be falling out of favor with the populace, then they tend to align with the party that is in power, so that they can get the perquisite of political alliance. Because when you belong and you want to play a dominant role in that political party that you are identifying with, and you want to be rugged, because the more rugged you are, the more rugged you prove to be, then the more, what I may call that, the more loyalty you win to yourself, the more, the fatter and the bigger your pocket when it is. So the politicians we have here, the defection you are seeing, you are yet to see more.
All right.
In the coming days, there's going to be a lot of transfer.
All right, Reverend, thank you so much for that remark of yours. I'll come back to you shortly. Before Collins summarized this point, he talked about the trouble in the PDP, that might just be one of the reasons why we have this defection from the PDP to the APC, even in Edo State. You know that the PDP and the national level, they have this issue, serious issue of contention, who will occupy what position and all that. And secondly, some of the opinion that the former administration led by His Excellency ex-Governor Godwin Obaseki didn't really put the party in that particular pedestal that, you know, informed oneness. Remember that some members of the PDP were even suspended, even among the ones that defected to the APC right now. They were suspended while they were in PDP. Now, what do you have to say about that?
You see, when they, like I said before,
yes,
there are defections before elections, and there are defections after election. Before this election, this crisis were there, and this whole set of legislators were fully in People's Democratic Party, and they worked assiduously, and that's why Godala won the election, though it was not declared by INEC. So the challenge...
Well, you cannot say he won the election. The case is still in court.
Allegedly won, and the case is still under contention. So when they come up, this defection after an election is an attempt that is laced with greed and selfishness. Where we're having these challenges, it's not just the People's Democratic Party. It's in the New Nigerian People Party, it's in the Labour Party. The challenge we have on ground is that the Tinubu-led administration of the All Progressive Congress is hell-bent on destroying the opposition. Imagine the New Nigerian People Party in Kano State. The party leaders gathered together to sack the governor. That is to suspend the governor. How can the party leaders gather to sack the only governor in the party? And you tell me that there's no external influence. That is Tinubu's stock is trade. In Labour Party, Tinubu went there with his cronies. They frustrated Peter Obi to the extent that last year Peter Obi...
Do you have proof of this, or you are alleging?
I am telling you that Peter Obi ran out of the party.
He's alleging.
When we make a man as famous as Peter Obi, who took Labour Party from...
I will settle that.
Brought him to prominence, and yet the party leaders will gather and say he has suspended. We saw what happened with Wike, the 5 governors, and we saw the way and manner presidency is trying to frustrate the actions and inactions of Ubara and Wike in Rivers State, using Wike as a tool of destruction. That is the stock in trade of Tinubu, because he wants to ensure that in 2027 no other political platform exists. But let us go closely. Let me, because he laughed. He made these dubious allusions to say that I made some baseless statements on the persons who left do not have capacity. They really do not have capacity. The first person that left was Donald Akogbe. He's from Akoko Edo, a member of the People's Democratic Party. Donald is a loyalist, a boy, a stooge of Philip Shaibu. The man does not have a mind of his own. Because Philip Shaibu fell in love because of his own president, his failure to secure the ticket in the People's Democratic Party to become governor, he moved. He was in the PDP and supported that person to the destruction of his own party. He was the one who made the Donald an SSA. Later, he promoted him and made him a commissioner. He was barely a commissioner for 3 months before he took Donald and made him a House of Assembly member, because in a donut, he perhaps head sway. And that Donald in question is from Ososo Woten. He has no political value, was promoted beyond his capacity. What happened?
Are you sure about it? Because some folks will be like he's a man to reckon with in Akoko Edo.
Of the People's Democratic Party in Edo North. There's really nothing there that...
And see, that same donor was suspended by your party. Do you remember that?
For anti-party activities.
So you're blaming him for the campaign?
No, I'm not blaming for the campaign. I'm saying that he has moved. For us, it's good readers to bad rubbish. It is better for persons who are not with us to go out there and join the LPC and promote their affair, rather to be inside and be the canker one destroying us. What has he even brought to his constituents? The last time I saw him doing some empowerment, as elevated as a House of Assembly member, he was buying jam form for some few indigent persons, and that has been his constituency project. For us, good riddance to bad rubbish. The other one who left, Sonny Ojezili from Southeast. That man is a habitual defector. In 2015, he was in the People's Democratic Party. In 2019, he was in the People's Democratic Party. In 2019, he went into the APC. In 2020, he came back with Governor Baski to the PDP. Now in 2025, he has gone back to the APC. The man, his political value, you see that area where he's from, the Southeast. That place is predominantly People's Democratic Party, body and soul. He too is an ally of Philip Shaibu. He was the one Philip Shaibu wanted to make speaker in the last when they came into the House of Assembly, because Philip Shaibu wanted the speaker to come from Edo Central that would give credence to his candidacy as from Edo North, a government candidate for Edo North, and that he failed woefully. The man is just a handsome man. He would have done better in modeling for these Nigerian tailors.
You are talking about the expected assembly.
The man's political capacity is 0.0001. The Sonny Ojezili, I know if anyways, my friend. I have his number.
If it's 0.00, how come he became the member of the
The
House?
man worked for APC in this last election and was only able to win his unit. Aswelime Godalo won Ubiaja in totality. So he has just moved into oblivion. So whoever wins next time, you will see him. He will contest in APC and his candidacy will not see the light of day. For all intent and purpose, the two of them has no political capacity or no relevance.
All right, thank you.
It's only the Bright Iyamu to a large extent. I would say that one has capacity, that one had made good civic. Realize that he's a successful businessman, he has some resources, and he commands, I have it on good capacity to say, he commands some level of followership in he's from Ugboko Ward 5. In Orion. And in that his unit, he had defeated Ize-Iyamu on 2 occasions. Ize-Iyamu and he voted in the same unit. So that one has been of political benefit to the People's Democratic Party. The other one has capacity, that one has followership. But that is not to say it's the biggest or the strongest in that is Orion South. Because we have people like the local government chairman, the Ugiagbe, Newman Ugiagbe. We have others like the Wesley Asoro. We have Lady Uwausuba. Those are other people in that same Orion South who told Elijah, we do our People's Democratic Party because that one to Elijah was occupying a vital role.
All right.
We will pick up somebody.
All right.
Thank you. Because governor.
Thank you.
We pick up somebody and position him.
Thank you, Shedrack. Well, this person is mentioned by Shedrack. You have the right to come to ITV for fair hearing. You can do that, okay? You're talking about Donald Okogbe, you're talking about Sonny, yes.
No capacity.
Hold on. You're speaking from your own point of view. To others, they are juggernauts. And what they are saying is hurting your party. And of course, Iyamo, you have the right to come to ITV to talk your own part, okay? The right to fair hearing. Well, Collins, you are here as a member of the APC. He said this persons, they have no capacity as juggernauts, so to speak, in their own state in politics.
You know, I don't know what my brother means when he says having capacity. If someone is a sitting member of a House of Assembly, even if as a councillor, even a ward ESCO member, you wouldn't say, does he have capacity? The only thing is capacity varies. So they have capacity, they have followers, they have PA, they have a driver, their driver have a wife, the wife have a cousin. So it's an extensional thing. So they have capacity. You may not be happy that they've dumped your party. Sure, it's going to weaken PDP more. Take it or leave it. Just imagine the 4 constituencies where they all come from.
Still, one is Labour Party.
No, including that
Labour
of Labour.
Party, yeah.
So you can imagine if they had 100 supporter, that is minus 400 membership. It means so much. So let me not dwell more then. He also talked about Asiwaju trademark is weakening the police. See, in a marriage, if you do not tell out your wife is or your husband is all the time, neighbors will not have opportunity to destroy your marriage. If you come out in the morning, oh, my wife is such a hard-working woman, my husband is such a good man, they will be careful to blackmail your wife or your husband before you because they know that you owe he or she dearly. Now, there are plenty holes in all of these political parties. So even if another party takes advantage of it, good and fine. It simply shows that the other person is politically balanced. Because I wouldn't want you to continue to operate, for example, should I wait to a motto when transfer window in expensive rate starts? Because we know today in Nigerian politics, it's more like transferring and not transferring. For those who do not collect money, that go on free will, they don't get money. But those who feed their superstar, they write applications that they are free. Come and negotiate.
So are you now saying that what is said about the presidency weakening political parties is true because of the openings?
I will not completely deny it. It only got to show that the presidency thinks ahead, in as much as Erofah and Obi are moving from party to party looking for an alignment. You two need to work harder ahead. So now let me tell you, even when they said Tinubu will never be president, even when President Muhammadu Buhari, who he assisted in coming to power, stood with his armies that he will not come, the man said, it is my turn. I have paid my price. The structures are there. I will come. And he came. Because he has laid the foundation, he has built the structure for over 30 years. So he wasn't in a hurry. He know even if you have moved out, the system is still balanced for him to win. And he proved that to Nigerians. Anyhow you see it. If the president, the former president who wanted Atiku, couldn't deliver Atiku, then Asiwaju won. You thought he also behind Buhari to become president? No. Now he also talked about Wike. Now he that must come to equity must come with clear hands. Just like when we were crying when Governor Obaseki set the record. I am sure Governor Obaseki was part of those who led Fubara to where he is now. I said, I did it in Edo, nothing happened. You did it in Edo, nothing happened. Probably because of some of the greed of some of our leaders here who couldn't make sacrifice, who couldn't push harder to assist others, made it so that their cases were KIV for how many years? Even when we have the federal government, who they would have consistently cried to. Even our leader, Comrade Adams, was even the national chairman. Probably his attention was extremely too divided. Because if they had focused, there wasn't any way we would have done this. Now, at their case, our Supreme Court not make the verdict. Is presidency the Supreme Court? No. But judgment came. And today he's running up and down. Yesterday he went looking for them and they shut the door against him. But I'm appealing to them to forgive him for the interest of the people. Because to her he's human. Even in politics, to forgive is divine. So what I am trying to say, let us get ready and do the right thing at the right time. When we are doing the right thing, we will be sure of the real gains.
I'll come back to you, Colin. Before we go over to where Reverend Henry is, who want to go for a break, is this all political, or is it a transfer season, or is it all about 2027? Do stay. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the defection of some EDHA members and the impact of political dynamics in Edo State. Let's move straight down to Reverend Henry. Reverend, you heard what Shedrack opined, and of course the reactions of Collins. I really want you to throw more light on it. The influence of Mr. President allegedly, utilizing loopholes in our political parties to make sure that they don't stand up to the APC in cause of the 2027 election. How true is this allusion, allegation? Because Collins said if it's true, then is he right thing to do as a politician? What do you have to say about it? Let me come straight to Shedrack. Shedrack, look, Collins said, well, if that is the case, if it's true, there's nothing wrong in it. After all, if there are no holes in the wood, the termite will not create more damage into a particular wood. Because people are alluding that it was a former governor that really destabilized PDP in Edo State. Now, that is the reason why whatever happened is because of his action or inaction. That's the reason why people will always and will continue to leave the PDP in Edo State. How true is this allegation?
For me, that is very erroneous. Governor Godwin Ogasa of Baseki built and repositioned the People's Democratic Party. What they are calling destruction is because Governor Obaseki refused to carry the money meant for governance, the money meant for payment of salaries and pension, and refused to share it for those political leaders and masters who have constituted themselves as principalities within the political structure. Leaders and masters who have no contribution to good governance, who sit in their houses and say their divine occupation from birth is politician. And as a result of that, they hold sway in every corner and the junction of the state. Listen to what my brother said. He made some engagement. He said food is ready. And those people who decant went to eat the food that was ready. It's simple. He also alleged that Tinubu is the one destroying the opposition platforms. From PDP to APC, from PDP to Labour Party to New Nigerian People's Party. He also agreed that yes, Tinubu is exploiting their weaknesses to ensure that they all die. And APC is the only platform. So what exactly do you need to substantiate?
But you didn't paint it the way you are painting it right now.
That is what he said, and then it's clear that see, it is only in Nigeria that people go into office, and the only thing they do when they enter into office is to work for the next election. They forget governance. As I speak to you now, Tinubu has not spent 2 years in office, but the son is everywhere in the north, jumping from places. The son who to Elijah has no office. He has a very large entourage. He's now the official vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He's moving from state to state, brokering political alignments, sharing handouts to youths whom the father has impoverished due to cluelessness and ineptitude in governance. And all the focus about is how to win the hearts and minds of people for next election. Ignoring the opportunities he have 2 years. If you go into public office, what does he require to get re-elected? Is to deliver the dividend of democracy. Many of these lawmakers who have been jumping up and down, what exactly has been their contribution? How many of them have you seen come on public domain to make strong statements? How many of them is known for any strong advocacy? How many of them has any political direction? When it's time for them to go back, they go and beg 1 or 2 leaders who will carry their hand. I said those 2 other persons, I will say they don't have political capacity. Anybody can come and justify.
But Collins said they have capacity.
If you go to the Labour Party, even the Labour Party to a large extent, I just believe that now it has not dawned on those people who claim to be obedient that nothing substantive, nothing sustainable can be done in anger. 4 of the people they elected, 2 have already left to the APC. So while they were jumping out to say no to article, vote, they were actually voting for APC. So whether you like it or not, the remaining 2, Ned Emaswell is practically behaves like an APC man. Because if you see what APC do,
but you see in Labour Party, never study the defectors.
What have they done to show that they are Labour Party? The other one, Murphy. I bet you before the next election, 2 of them will now is imminent. They will jump into the APC because APC is the only party that has money to share. This was they collected 200 million naira. That for them is enough to change their.
But Steve, that can be said about a party in terms of Governor, ex-Governor Gordon Obaseki, so they camped also from APC to PDP.
People saw that Obaseki was delivering the dividends of democracy. Salaries were being paid properly. As I speak to you now. As at 2 days ago when I confirmed, teacher salary in Benin State have not been paid. This was a salary that was being paid 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, and latest 28th. Today, 11th, they've not paid them last month's salary. In AAU, the same thing. They were shouting SRT discredit, SRT discredit. SRT paid salary 26th, 27th, 28th. As last salary for February was paid 7th of March. So listen to me, in this current time, I don't even see any need trying to justify why people jump because they cannot see for themselves. As we speak today, there is cluelessness in the streets of
Benin. There's
one Agbero versus another Agbero, one Tad versus another Tad.
Hold on, Shedrack, it's his turn right now to react to your comments. So go ahead. He said things are no longer the same. He opined and agreed to the fact that food is ready, that your party is the only party that have money to share. That's the reason why people are like, defecting from his own party and from other party to your own political party. Is it all about food is ready? Is it about the money? Or is it about good governance, Collins?
Governor Monday Okpebholo is divine. That is the only word I can use. He's divinely brought by God. His action and capacity that he has shown within 3 months, it's obvious that he's not out for ease. Now, he had over the time emphasized that the former governor who stole the repatriation of our artifact money took our IGRO without accountability.
You are not alleging.
No, I'm not alleging.
You are alleging.
The documents are not there, in the public. FOI gives you the opportunity to seek for it from relevant ministry. Now, there was so much that he did. If former governor bought a property that was already standing to be renovated with a state government money and pay a whopping sum of 1 billion for somebody to be looking at it, consultant. Just look if they have painted this place or what. But God will ask them. Now, when we talk about capacity in politics are empirical. They are things that can be seen. You don't deliver in abstention. Now, Okpebholo has introduced a new security system. Have you not seen the way our police behaves? Have you not seen the new helixes they are now using? Have you not drive and pass the new police operating in Edo? That's the same police that used to hire taxi. They will load themselves inside, hide somewhere, waiting for Yahoo boys. Modernization, capacity, model Bebolo. He has over the time talked about an Agberu. In Obaseki government, it was characterized with Agberuism to the highest order. And even when you cry, high heaven, he will not call them to order. And you know this Agberu we are even talking about our brothers. For example, they have assigned maybe to collect revenue. And do you know the good thing about this one? This Mr. Governor, this divine governor, when they cry out that, oh, they are acting ill, he stops them immediately. As I'm talking to you now, none of them are out. He has said, stop them. If the people feel you are violently doing what you are supposed to do, because he's out to represent the people. And if you are doing in such manner, he stops you. And he has done it in many occasions. Even if you are appointed and you are not doing your work diligently, and you allow somebody to, he will suspend you. But if you are find out after thorough investigation that you are not found wanting, he brings you back, like what you have seen with the issue of the Attorney General, the Commissioner for Justice, who has just been recalled back. It now clearly shows to others that everyone needs to be very focused. So my brother and the Edo people, Bebolo, have done well in partnership, even with standard organization outside Nigeria that will help in the area of agriculture is extreme. In the AAU that he talked about, 500 million subvention now going to AAU.
Audio money have not been paid since
It's
January.
not audio. AAU management have come out to that effect to prove that they have received so much.
Thank you. Now let's move over to where Reverend Henry is. I hope the signals is quite strong right now. I'm going to take you back to the question I threw at you, but due to network distortion, you were not able to react. Now, from what Shedrack said, he's accusing the presidency of having a hand in strangulating other political parties, hence the massive defection from other political parties to the APC. What's your reaction to that?
Thank you, Mr. Wilson, once again. The PDP man there, I think, is honestly sincere in his contribution thus far. I think he was one that talked about that the food is ready, that people can come and share. I think he's still the one now that has alluded to the fact that Nigerians can do anything for money. Sorry to say, most of our politicians, they lack character. They are deficient in character. You will agree with me from what is happening that for the greed of money, a politician can choose to be a mole in his own political party just for the financial gains. All that is happening in the PDP today, I tell you of a truth, is nothing but financial inducement. Politicians who do not have character, who do not have integrity, all they are just interested in is how much money they can take to the bank. I see no reason if I say that my intention of being in the political party is to serve the interests of my people. And another fellow equally have the notion, the idea, conceive the idea of serving his own people. It doesn't matter how the service comes, provided the service does come. But you can't have that with a politician. You can see the fight between the secretary, the one who is laying claim to the secretaryship of the PDP, and the one is the voice of Jacob and the hand of Esau that we are seeing. There is no denying the fact that what is happening in our political party, the divide and rule that you have in there, they are all being masterminded by some external forces. There is no doubt about that. external forces are strongly behind what is happening in these political parties. And I tell you the truth, is to whittle down the power of the opposition, to whittle down the influence of the opposition. I tell you the truth, that this is going to be a wide wind that does no man any good. Because they may be thinking of what they are getting now as a perquisite in the immediate, but the long effect of what is happening is waiting for us in the very near future. Because I can see that we are gradually tinted towards a one-party state, and which I think is not going to be good for the polity of Nigeria. It's not going to be good. And for the fact that somebody said, yes, that the ruling opposition, the ruling party, which is the APC at the national, has a hand in doing what it's doing. I think even the deaf, it is very audible to the deaf that what is happening in Rivers State, for instance, between the XY governor and the incumbent governor, is nothing but they are fighting for the soul of the state, fighting for the soul of the state with a view to ensuring that the other maintains perpetual power, perpetual control and authority in power. And I think this will not help our politics. So those politicians that have chosen to be a mole in their own political party to the detriment of their own party, they are digging their grave. They are digging their political grave. And it's unfortunate that that is where we are find ourselves, all because of money.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Henry, or Reverend Henry, rather. Well, gentlemen, we have 2 minutes each to cap up our points, okay, because our Botanical Center, they are standing by for their own segment for today's edition of This Morning on ITV. In summation, Shadrach, some are saying this is the beginning of the end of the PDP in Edo State. After all, in federal, you guys don't have a stand. In the states, you don't have a stake. And they are saying, well, the antecedent and the former governor, Gordon Obaseki, they are alleging that it was one that really balkanized the PDP.
For me,
take it up from there. 2 minutes to summarize.
When you say that the beginning of the end for PDP, 2027 is still far off. Well, it's actually the beginning of the end for APC. We've seen that El-Rufai had left. For us, El-Rufai is like a political John the Baptist that has gone ahead to prepare a place where Tinubu and the APC will be sacrificed in 2027. And in no distant time, henchmen within the All Progressive Congress will pull out in droves, because the time is not yet ripe, to destroy and ensure that the party sinks with the cluelessness we've seen in Nigeria. When you come to Edo State here, Monday Okpebolo has offered the worst form of governance, unprecedented. Just yesterday, 2 children died in Edo State because the state has been divided into different ganglands and given to different agberos. You have the one doing enforcement for agencies on one hand. You have a Boston and his boys in the PSRO team. You have the NURO team with no molest. You have the special advice SSA to the governor on logistics, Shaba. They are all different gang men in different places, wreaking havoc. Yesterday, a child was died. Yes, he was died. The PSRO team was dragging steering with a bus driver, and they ran into a child. He died. Another one, PSRO team took a stone in an attempt to stone a bus driver. He killed the child. On the spot, the child died. And yet, there's no need talking about bad governor. Edo people can see for themselves.
All right, thank you. Your 2 minutes is up. Collins, 2 minutes.
If any of these is you see or hear, draw our attention to it, because this is a government that has taken so much time.
He has his time now
to put together. We will not allow anybody to give the governor a bad name or give the administration a bad name. No matter how highly placed, we will make sure the government deals with those people. So please, the governor is doing well and he continues to do well. For PDP, he has just told us that El-Rufai is going to prepare a place for them where they are all going. So for the remaining ones here, I'm sure you have heard him clear. So you people are not going to SDP. But it's okay. However it is, till then, we'll all meet in the field. But I can assure you the economic policies of the president is the best anyone can think of. The dividend have started coming in. We pray that sabotages will not have their way, because it's not about self-politicking. It should be about we and the future. So the president is working tirelessly to build a sustainable future for our people. And I am very sure he won't make any mistake. And for the governor of Edo State, may God give him the strength that he needs. For any leaders who wants to misbehave, they can be sure that they will not misbehave in Ukpebolo's government. Because we, the youth in the parties too, will not allow them. For now, we are watching closely, and we hope and pray for all of the effort that we put in, they will not turn it into story and history.
Thank you, Collins. Reverend, you have your 2 minutes. What do you have to say to the defectors and, of course, to the APC, welcoming them with open arms?
Time to hear our politicians to tread with caution. Okay. And if indeed they are there for the interest of the masses, let it be seen that they are there for the masses. But what we are seeing today, they are more financially driven than developmental driven. This is where I anchor this morning.
Thank you so much, Reverend Henry. I appreciate you joining us virtually. And of course, Shedrack Dubai, I appreciate you. Collins, I truly do appreciate all of you. Remember their opinions. It has nothing to do with IDB.